before the extension or creation of the material universe, when we existed in our original habitat and our original essence, the celestial spheres. We were all aligned and connected with the great central source, and everything reflected universal unity, sisterhood, brotherhood. It is now once again evident, thanks to the advent of the age of information, that we need to correct our limited and invalid belief systems that tells us that mankind is a descendant of the animal kingdom, when the truth of the matter is, as based on the new evidence, mankind is not a descendant of the animal kingdom, but a descendant of a whole light being that originated in the higher spheres of the always existing meta-central universe. In other words, we are the final extension of the involution of the descent of spirit into matter, or we are basically the last phase of the involution of the angelic kingdom. So that's the kingdom that we belong to. It is important to distinguish ourselves as the true essence of light spiritual substance inhabiting a temporary mortal physical vehicle in order to experience the lower dimensions of congealed dense form. In essence, we are pure consciousness, awareness, not our body. However, it is equally important to understand that our spirit essence needs a vehicle in order to successfully complete the ascension process. For true ascension, as we shall see, is the integration of spirit into matter, heaven and earth. Nonetheless, the animals served as a collective soul group connected with the spirit of our earth and the spirit of the elements of the second dimensional telluric kingdom. And since the planet is also a living being with a soul of her own, the animals in a way were her offspring. They were the earth keepers before the dawning or descending of man, as portrayed in the movie Chronicles of Narnia. We humans, on the other hand, have always existed as whole light beings of the highest lights that descended into matter so that we may infuse the light into the lower spheres of lower vibrations in order to spiritualize matter. Unfortunately, we have mistreated our animals and our earth, and that is why the animals have been so beastly in nature, whereas before the fall of man, which is the fall of consciousness into limited consciousness, man and the animals lived in harmony, communicated among each other, and shared collectively as keepers of our planet. For the record, let it be known that even Jesus the Christ attested and proclaimed that we were all sons and daughters of the living God, not just himself. The fact that we are all divine beings capable of ascending like the Christ is well understood in the Eastern traditions of India, Tibet, and China. For millenniums, we have been locked into this linear, rigid dimension. As a result, we have unfortunately been conditioned to believe all we are is physical bodies, when in essence we are the fire life spirit that gives substance to both our energy vehicles and our physical body. In this limited third dimension, where matter seems to be at its most dominant over energy, we are in a fallen state. However, as we ascend into higher levels or densities or frequencies, then our vital energy body self-dominates our material form. Maybe that is the reason why for centuries we have only identified ourselves with our physical body while forgetting our original nature as divine beings of light, energy, vibration. For in the higher dimensions, life is more eternal and timeless because of the constant flow of universal life force coming from our light body into our form, giving our form ageless living for thousands or perhaps millions of years. On the other hand, in the third dimension, life is less than 100 years because the form is receiving less than 10% of the entire universal life current that flows through the chakras, which are the energy centers that act as an interface between the physical shelf and our light body. It is this universal life force that flows through us that determines our lifespan. According to the esoteric wisdom, our light body is broken off into 9 energy vehicles, all different vibrations of the same energy field, with the lowest vibrational vehicle being our physical shell, which is the only vehicle we see. Perhaps this corresponds with the 3 overall planes of reality that are also broken off into 9 subdimensional planes of existence. These other bodies are as real as our physical body and exist in the higher vibrating states of energy matter, or as what science would call dark matter, beyond the 3rd dimensional range. Therefore, since our real composition as humans involves vehicles and aspects of ourselves that exist in the higher dimensions, our goal then would be to integrate those aspects of ourselves within our physical form. This would not only integrate, but ultimately ground the higher spheres with the lower spheres, thus reuniting heaven and earth, as we shall soon see. In truth, we are powerful light beings with a major amnesia problem, and as we take up ascension with our planet into the higher dimensions, we will begin to access those vehicles and realize how truly powerful and unlimited we are. This is not science fiction. This is the truth of the matter. We are multidimensional beings. It's time to wake up. We will begin to understand this more as we begin to awaken spiritually. In fact, the best way to imagine a whole being of light or soul is a core extension extended from the great central source of all that is, at the center of all existence, which is pure luminal light. Or we could say that we are all individual sparks of the one light resonating at the center of everything, containing within ourselves, holistically, the same attributes and elements of the entire light source. From its center, we could conclude that this light, in its purest state, is the prime source of everything that exists. For instance, in terms of our latest scientific breakthroughs, it is energy in its most purest state or highest vibrational frequency. Therefore, we could scientifically affirm that before we inherited physical bodies, we were considered intelligences because since the universe is holistic and living, we were all perfect functioning aspects containing the same nature of the whole within us. For example, our light body acted as a trans-vehicle enabling the soul, the real human me, to experience and sojourn on the multiple planes and subplanes of the overall celestial realms and etheric realms of the higher light spectrum, dark matter, dark energy. For the record and establishment of facts, the light body was our original and first vehicle as our souls extended from the great mother core of the celestial spheres. It was this vehicle that the ancient Egyptians referred to as the Ka body. The ancient Hebrews refer to as the Merkaba. There is also reference to this vehicle in the ancient Chinese, Indian, and Tibetan traditions as well. This knowledge regarding our original vehicle, the light body, was omitted from all records of this world by the Dark Brotherhood and only preserved in the esoteric literature of the Brotherhood of Light and their various benevolent secret societies of both East and West. In truth, we began as celestial beings. Our true origin is in the higher spheres of vibrating energy with a pure body of light. Then we proceed in becoming intelligences operating with etheric bodies to finally descend or coalesce into a physical body as a final condensing of our entire energy field, reaching its lowest vibrational frequency. Also, it is important to understand that when we whole light beings enter the final phase of our descent, embodying a vehicle of flesh and blood, we become only a portion of our total self. Since we are first spirit, we must become matter, the descent, and then bring down our divine spirit into matter, or ascend our matter back into spirit. This completes our perfection as made in the image of our Creator, who has also in a previous creation cycle has gone through the same process as we are all in this current creation cycle. Each cycle is known as one universal round, and it is a process every spirit being takes in order to achieve the greatest experience and the highest degree of exaltation.